Hi, my name is Brian. My wife and I are building a off-grid homestead on a small remote island in southeast Alaska. And this is a video on why we have cell phones and Starlink satellite internet. But first, we have to go back a few days. Today's a big day. We're putting the rest of the seeds in the ground today. This says 90 degrees.
That's pretty good. So hopefully something will grow in here. Oh, I'm already hot. I don't know, what is it, like 8:30 this morning already? So that's good.
So what do we got going on here?
Well, I have already planted my tomato plants this year in buckets. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tomato plants. These are the cherry tomatoes, and then I have one, I think they call that an early set. Never planted that before, and I have 2 jalapenos this year in buckets. And I have some pepper plants over there that I'm going to plant. And I have some strawberries I'm going to plant this year. And I don't know, I guess when I open my seeds, I'll see what else I'm going to plant. We'll find out.
Perfect. And while she's doing that, I'm going to go hook up the water system. Well, it's that time of year. We need to get up on top of the roof, sweep it off, clean out the gutters, hook up the water system. We've collected some pine needles and a branch or 2 up here. We just need to get rid of it and then clean all the muck out of the gutter. I'll get the hose fired up here in a minute. We'll spray that out and then we'll be good. There is a short period of time where things start to pollinate, where we get a yellow powder over everything. So we'll probably have to turn the water off, not collect during that period, just so we don't get all that yellow pollination in the tank. But yeah, let's get started. Hey, sorry, I went up to do my first shot up there and my clamp broke on the GoPro, so all I had was this little, there's nothing to clamp to. Let's take a look. There we go. That's done. I'm gonna go down there, hook up the water hose and spray it out, let some of the big stuff drain out and flush the tube down, and then we can hook it up to our water tank. All right, there we go. I got a new mount hooked up to the camera. I got it all blown out. Now we just got to hook up the water. I'm topping off this guy. I mean, this thing's pretty full, so I'm gonna top off this guy. We're supposed to have a few days of sunshine, which is great for us, so we're gonna take advantage of that. And then when it starts raining, we'll just fill the big tank up. And yeah, this should give us water for the entire summer. If you remember last summer, we ran out of water because we had a tree hit our cabin in the wintertime, and so we weren't able to hook it up till spring, and by that time we needed water and we didn't have any. So
Why put it all away? You need...
I'll make one more run then. This year we've got 25 and 5, so 3,000 gallons of water already. Yeah, I think we're set. I'll get my screw gun out and ratchet that around that elbow, but that's pretty much it. Gutter's clean, roof's clean, time to collect water. So excuse the noise, but we are charging up our batteries right now. We've had a cloudy day yesterday and I'm about to use some power tools, so I kicked up the generator to get us a little boost, and then we're gonna start cutting some wood. But this brings us to present day. As you all know, in late February, I had what they call compartment syndrome, and I had to get taken to the hospital where they performed surgery on me, and I was stuck in town for almost 2 months. Well, a similar thing happened. So my wife she went into town to help her mom and dad out while her mom had a medical appointment, and the medical appointment turned out to kind of go horribly wrong. Eventually she had to have surgery. She's been in the hospital for a couple days now, and she's going to be in the hospital for 4 more days before she's released. And during that period of time, her dad also had to go to the hospital. So it's just been one hectic week. Now, we were supposed to be getting our seeds all planted and everything, but we had to put that on the back burner. So we are going to be running way late on seeds. She's normally the one that maps out the garden beds and where all the seeds are going. So we've got to talk and get it ironed out. And I guess I'm going to have to plant the seeds this year. And so wish me luck. But anyways, so we don't have any cell signal at this location right here on the island. But without satellite and a cell phone, I would have never been able to call for help when I needed to go to the hospital. And we also would not have any clue on what's happening with our parents. Matter of fact, my mom went to the hospital this week. She had to have a pacemaker put in. So it's been just crazy. But the reason why it's good to have, even if you don't have internet, you just have a sat phone, it's a way for people to get in contact with you if you don't have cell signal. If you've got cell signal, then it's not a big deal. But for us, we don't have cell signal here. So it's really important for us to be able to have contact to the outside world, or we would have never known that my mom went to the hospital, her mom went to the hospital. So for family emergencies, so we get comments like, well, if you're off grid, why do you need cell service? Well, that's exactly why. Emergencies. And my son lives in PA, so who doesn't want to talk to their son every once in a while? You know what I mean? It's kind of an idiotic comment, to be honest, but I'm just putting it out there. That's why, even if you're thinking about moving off grid, you ought to think about how you're going to communicate to the outside world, because if you can't get emergency services to you like we can out here, then you're going to need to call a friend to be able to come pick you up, like in my case. Or if one of your loved ones gets hurt, you'd like to know about it. If you need to make a trip into town or out of state to go visit, if something seriously is wrong and somebody's on their deathbed, I'm sure you'd want to go visit your mom or dad or son or whoever. So that's the reason behind this. So anyways, let's get to the meat and potatoes of the video. All right, so behind me, this used to just be logs like that. I've currently moved them over here. This area here, well, I don't know what I'm doing with this area. I don't really want to put the sawmill here because this is where our barn's going to go. So either I'll have to temporarily put the sawmill here, stop milling stuff, or I might move a tent over here and put the sawmill closer to where I really want it staged permanently. But I'm still limited on what I can do with my arm. So I'm going to need help with that. And I've got a YouTube friend coming up next month, basically in a couple weeks. So hopefully he can maybe help me get the sawmill put together. So while my wife's in town, I've got a long honey-do list. And my wife didn't necessarily give it to me, but it's things that need to get done. And I'm about 2 months behind on my project, so I'm going to try to knock some of these out while it's just me and the dogs here. So whether you love us or hate us, one thing we try to do on this channel is be completely honest. And one thing that we really screwed up on was building this entryway. At the time, we had these 3 trees here. All were like 80 to 100 foot high. And we didn't want to, my wife didn't want to cut them down. But if my wife doesn't want to cut them down, I don't want to cut them down. So anyways, we didn't want to disturb the root systems. As you can see now, they are all down. But what we were left with, so we put them on these little cement blocks. I mean, in theory, it's a good idea, but the ground here is so soft that it never really held. Now, this ground, this has been here for a couple years, so we've kept kind of jacking it up and raising it up. So the ground here is pretty firm now. It shouldn't sink anymore, but what we're going to do is lay down a little foundation of cement, make a wider footprint for it, and then hopefully that will fix our problems. Now I have 2 Bigfoot and some sonotubes, but I have another problem, and I'm going to take you back here and show you. Over the winter, this piling had started to split. We're going to get this knocked out ASAP as well. We're going to put 1 footing here in the middle, 1 footing there in the middle. In between the 2 pilings, there's a big root system here, so hopefully we can get that knocked out, but we shall see. We might have to just brace it, dig the old piling out, and then put a new one in its place. So as you see here, just jacking the floor up for this side, we smashed that little block of wood down about 3 inches into the ground. So that's what we want to prevent. Like I said, this stuff's already been compressed for a couple years, so I don't think we're going to have any problems with it. If it doesn't work this time, then I'll go buy another set of sonotubes and everything, and we'll try to do this the right way. But I know that root system right there is going to be underneath this, and it's going to wreak havoc. So let's just cross our fingers and pray that this does work. So a video or 2 ago, I was weed eating and I didn't put my safety glasses on, and I got called out, so I put them on this time. And rest assured, I started weed eating, and all of a sudden I got a little something flew up on my face, and I was like, hold up, wait a minute, let's put some safety glasses on. So what I've got here is, I've got a winch plate. They sent me a winch plate, and all the bolts and nuts fell out, so I contacted the company. They were, I forgot who makes it, Smittybilt maybe, but they sent me a whole new winch plate with the hardware. So I've been using this, just like that, to, because this jack will just crack this wood if I put it on there by itself. So we don't want that. And I'm trying to get it right up underneath this little joist here. There we go. I made a small little egress route in case things go horribly wrong. So I guess now we can start moving this up and maybe we'll hear some cracking and popping. So that's loose. It's loosey-goosey. We want to loosen it up. There we go. So I removed the block and the beam holding it up. Now we're just making a little area for our form to go. Let's see if that's wide enough here. Yeah, looks like it'll work. All right, now we got to mix some cement. Ah, it's too wide. We'll let that set up, then we'll put the block on top of it, get everything in place, and we should be good to go. I've lost my dog, so they're probably getting in trouble. I can't afford another vet visit, so we're gonna have to go on Operation Rescue Puppies. Well, that didn't take very long. Normally whenever I fire the four-wheeler up, they're like, we're going for a run. So I fired it up, pulled away, and Raven came. Skipper came earlier. Hold on, let me get this straight. Skipper came a little earlier. Hold on, let me see if I can get this out here. Skipper, they ran off a little bit. I whistled for them. They came back, but Skipper brought this back. It looks like a tiny little deer. Man, it's little, but anyways, he brought me a gift. While we let that cement dry, I'm going to start working on this shower here. It's going to be crude, but it's going to be welcomed. As you can see behind me, I had moved my my old woodshed. At this point, I think it's just trash. I think I'm going to take the nails out of everything. I'll salvage what's usable. The rest we'll just have a big bonfire with. Anyways, here's our base. We're going to put 3 sides up and a little top piece to mount a shower head, and then we'll cut some sheet metal because some of it's dented up over here. We'll just cut some sheet metal to protect the private areas, and then we should be good to go. All right, well, we got our box built here. I just drilled a hole in this little 2x4. We're gonna screw that on, get it screwed into place up there, and then we can start cutting some sheet metal. Oh, see? And that is why you check underneath. I would have cut through my skill saw cable, and that would not have been cool. Yeah, it's about to get loud. Matter of fact, I'm going to go put my headphones on for this. Well, that's it. She's not beautiful, but she'll get her done. I still have to get a couple of attachments to hook up the water. But long story short is I'll go to town, get what I need, and then get back here and we'll get this fired up before my wife gets back. She never watches the videos, so she won't find out until she gets here. Whew. All right, here we go. Sorry, I started working, forgot to turn the camera on. Anyways, there's our foundation. I just wanted to give it a little larger of a footprint to distribute the weight over it a little bit. I should have pulled it out a little further. See how close it is here. I'd like for it to have been centered, but you know, you can wish in one hand and you know what in the other. So that's my bad. But I think it's going to work out. We'll see. We'll see what you know. We'll monitor it over the next couple months, and if it fails horribly, then I'll buy a couple more big feet, and we'll dig down and have to mess with those roots over there. But that is what it is. But we had a bunch of questions about the mooring system, so I'm going to drop the video up there. That was when they dropped that 1,000-pound anchor for our mooring, and then I'm going to put a video out about, because we had a lot of questions about the new system, because we've been using an outhaul and now we're using like a permanent mooring. So I'm going to answer those questions and then wrap some other commonly asked questions into one video that'll come out. Actually, that's going to come out before this video comes out, because I'm going to town right now. Raven needs, she has allergies, so she needs her pills. We've got the stuff we need to hook up the shower with. Propane, just dog food, chicken food. I need food. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna link that video up there. Thank you guys as always for watching. We really appreciate it. Remember, live free, take care. We'll see you next week.